birds ignite.
Chapter 5. The Vanishing Act. Time, it seemed, had begun to stretch and warp in the botanical garden, each minute dragging on with the weight of 1,000 hours. The sun, once a bright sentinel in the sky, was now obscured by a creeping veil of clouds that loomed overhead like an ominous omen. Rhea, Karina, Rhys and Lance had ventured further into the heart of the garden, laughter dancing on their lips, but the air had grown thick with tension, each moment tinged with an unsettling sense of foreboding. "All right, what's next on the list?" Lance had said cheerfully just the moments before, his enthusiasm as bright as the flowers surrounding them. But now, as Rhea scanned the pages of the journal, she felt a chill creep down her spine, as if the very garden was holding its breath, waiting for something to unfold. And then, in a flash, it happened. One moment, they were all together, and in the next, Lance had simply vanished. "Lance," Rhea called, her voice echoing through the foliage, a disquieting whisper against the rustling leaves. "Where are you?" Silence enveloped them like a shroud, thick and suffocating. Rhys exchanged worried glances with Karina, both of them frozen in disbelief, as if the very air had conspired to steal their friend away. "This isn't funny, mate," Rhys shouted, his voice tinged with rising panic. "You'd better not be hiding in a flower pot." Karina, her face pale as a ghost, began to pace, her hands wringing together anxiously. "What if something happened to him? What if he stumbled into a jinx? We shouldn't have come here. We should turn back." "Wait, let's not jump to conclusions," Rhea urged, though her heart pounded like a drum in her chest. "We have to find him. He couldn't have gone far." As they searched the surrounding area, Rhea's eyes caught sight of something half hidden beneath a nearby bush. She knelt down, her heart thudding wildly, and pulled out Lance's jacket, the fabric torn and frayed as if it had been caught on something sharp. A sense of dread washed over her, cold and clammy, settling in the pit of her stomach. "Guys, look!" Karina rushed over, her eyes widening as she took in the sight of the battered jacket. "Oh no, this isn't good. What happened? Where is he?" Her voice quivered, a fragile thread threatening to snap under the weight of her worry. "Maybe he got caught on a branch," Rhys suggested, though the tremor in his voice betrayed his own uncertainty. "Or well, I don't know. Maybe he was whisked away by rogue plants. You know, those flower assassins we joked about." "Not helping, Rhys," Rhea snapped, her voice sharp as a knife. The tension in the air was palpable, a thick fog of anxiety that suffocated her thoughts. "We need to focus. We can't just stand here. Should we turn back? What if he's hurt?" Karina's eyes glistened with unshed tears, her voice cracking under the strain. "What if he needs us?" Rhea felt her heart twist at the sight of her friend's distress. "I don't want to abandon him, but we can't just wander aimlessly either. We need a plan." Just then, a rustle sounded in the underbrush, and the three friends froze, their breaths caught in their throats. Rhea's heart raced as she turned toward the noise, her senses heightened, as if the very garden had come alive. "Lance!" she called again, her voice trembling, but there was no response, only the sound of leaves swaying in the breeze, mocking in their tranquility. The garden, once a vibrant sanctuary, now felt like a labyrinth of doom, each shadow stretching ominously, each rustle an echo of their mounting fear. "What if something happened to him?" Karina whispered, her voice barely audible. "What if he's hurt or lost? We can't just leave him here." Rhea felt a swell of determination rise within her, battling against the gnawing fear. "We won't leave him. We'll search every inch of this garden until we find him, but we need to stick together. If we split up, we could end up getting lost ourselves." With a heavy heart, they pressed on, the air thick with uncertainty. Rhea's mind raced with possibilities, each more frightening than the last. What if Pumpernickel's jinxes had ensnared Lance? What if the laughter that had once filled this place had turned sinister, twisting the flora into something malevolent? As they moved deeper into the garden, the atmosphere shifted, the light dimming as the clouds rolled in, casting eerie shadows that danced menacingly. The laughter of the past faded into a haunting silence, and Rhea felt a chill run down her spine. What had they stumbled upon? Was their investigation worth the risk, or had they unwittingly unleashed something that should have remained buried? "Rhea, over here!" Rhys suddenly called, his voice breaking through her spiraling thoughts. He pointed towards a cluster of flowers, their petals shimmering unnaturally. "I think I found something." Rhea rushed over, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope and fear. Among the blossoms lay a small, crumpled piece of paper, its edges frayed as if it had been hastily discarded. She picked it up, her hands shaking as she unfolded it. The words scrawled across the page sent a bolt of dread through her. Beware the laughter that masks the truth. The garden holds secrets darker than you know. Follow the path of petals, but do so at your peril. What does it mean? Karina whispered, her voice trembling. What are we getting ourselves into? Ria's eyes widened, her heart racing as the reality of their situation began to sink in. I don't know, but we have to find Lance. We have to uncover what's really going on here before it's too late. Outside, the wind howled, a mournful cry that echoed through the garden, as if warning them to turn back. But Ria, fueled by a fierce determination to find her friend, squared her shoulders and took a deep breath. Let's go, she said, her voice steadying. We're not giving up on Lance. Not now, not ever. We'll face whatever secrets this garden holds together. With renewed resolve, they ventured further into the depths of the garden, unaware that the shadows were closing in around them, and that the legacy of Percival P. Pumpernickel was far more entangled with their fates than they had ever imagined.
Diamond stories where birds ignite. From reports to diaries, our stories take flight. With vocabulary gems and plots so grand, we'll transport you to worlds across every land. Get ready to listen to stories to ignite your imagination, where each story